Guys, you'll have to excuse the mess. I've got about 40 projects going on. I actually had started doing the rabbit hutch, and this is the lower frame, and I'm just using lumber that I had laying around already. I'm all about reclaiming. I just ran into one little downfall. Both my batteries are dead on my drill, which ties into my earlier rant. I don't have hand drills, I don't have anything with a cord. All I have is my battery-operated drill. And there you sit. So I'm going to focus my attention onto this. Picked up this riding lawnmower the other day for $300. Picked it up for a friend of mine. Motor runs great. It cuts beautifully. I have no complaints about it. And for $300 on something like this, you know it's going to wind up having to need some fixing. I mean, aside from cosmetic, that and the seat's about all there is cosmetic. We're not worried about it. And technically, this is all for a friend of mine. But this mower's got a 14-horse Kohler motor on it. And Kohler, in my opinion, is probably one of the best small engines you can get. It does have a little bit of an oil leak I'll check into. I'm going to show you here in just a minute exactly what I got going on. The battery is completely dead, so I can't turn it over for you. I'd have to jump start it, and I don't feel like that. You've got an electronic switch here for the blade drive. You got the lights, which aren't hooked up. You got your throttle key. You got just a regular parking brake. You got your forward and reverse, and then your deck raising and lowering. It's simple. Now your newer ones are all hydraulic, and I'm going to show you here in just a minute why I prefer this model. Alright, this is actually 100% mechanical. What we're looking at here, you have two cones, and this is quite literally a brake. It's made out of the same material as your brakes for your car, and there's one underneath here also. As you pull on the levers, I'm going to pull both of them forward here. The one on the left side goes down, that one goes up. So as it spins, as this spins in one direction, it's actually geared to rotate so everything goes forward. It's very ingenious, and this is probably all original parts, and this mower is anywhere from 1989 to 1993. Everything is mechanical. The bearings are all in good shape. Everything needs a little bit of oil, a little bit of grease. But what I've got going on here, and I heard it when I was running it, is this is loose. And it's not a bearing. What it amounts to, and I know I can't get in here decent to show you, but down here, just above the solenoid, there's actually a couple springs, and one of the springs is missing. So I'm going to tear that apart and fix it. But upon further investigation, you can actually see brake dust. I was trying to figure that out, and come to find out what it actually is the bottom brake is broken. So I'm thinking what happened is that spring broke, and just with the vibration when you're trying to move, it actually just somehow broke that bottom cone. You can get that whole assembly for about $130. You can buy it all piece by piece. Each cone's only about $25. It's not expensive, and it's not hard to fix. Here's your parking brake. You have one on each side. As you pull the lever, hands in the way, it actually tightens around the shaft. It's a very simple, very ingenious design. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to replace all the tighteners on it. I'm going to check all the chains, make sure all the bearings are good. I'll probably replace this whole shaft and the bearings that are in it. But 9 out of 10 times, this one here, when I get it from going by YouTube videos that I've watched, probably wouldn't even need to be replaced, but I'm going to go ahead and replace both anyway when you're in here. Also, the adjuster rods down here, which I didn't take the front cover off, there's two adjustment rods for the drive handles here. One of them, I don't know if you can actually get in there to see it, is actually broken, and they put some threaded rod in there. So when I'd actually got it, they had the one side adjusted right, but then this side was extremely loose, wouldn't drive, and then when you tried to drive it, this is what you hear. So I got that diagnosed. So we paid $300 for this mower. and we're going to stick probably about another $250 into it, plus the $30 battery. And then we should have pretty much a brand new mower. I mean, you can get the motors for them fairly cheap if the motor ever goes, but this is mechanical. You can still get parts for it. You can buy parts off of eBay. They have dealers for the Dixons you can still get these parts for. It was all in all a good buy. But this is what I was talking about in an earlier rant that I had. That the old ways of doing things, you had to figure this stuff out for yourself. And you could figure out your basic mechanics on figuring things out. My grandfather's the one who taught me how to do stuff like this. But upon, farm work, I've seen similar, your older skid steers have similar drive systems. It's really not, some of, not all. There's been a couple of them. As you start fixing equipment, you just learn how things act, look at it, and you can see how it works. And I was just ecstatic when I saw this, when I was looking at it before we picked it up. But yeah, this is actually for a friend of mine, and as I go, I'll put on different videos and show you exactly what I'm looking at. But so yeah, I'm stopping that project of the hutch. I'm stopping the project that I got for end table. I really need to clean my garage because I keep getting pulled out of here to do other things. And yeah, it's already starting to get quite hot in here, so it's been rainy and cloudy. It's already 90 degrees out here. Now the sun's coming out, so I think I'm going to call her a day and go and sit in the air conditioning. I'll talk to you guys later.